Let's have a look. Contridiction live stream. Oh, 9 views.
Somehow I don't think that's me.
Okay. Oh no, that was streamed a day ago.
Oh, that would probably be mine only. Last one I did.
Oh, hang on, here's another one.
Another one.
Oh yeah, I see it.
As do I.
I see it. Right, so a murder mystery game by the looks of it.
It is, yes.
Oh, interesting, okay.
Let's see. 7 o'clock. Yes, I need to solve this mystery before time runs out.
Oh, got you. So you got until like midnight, I'm guessing.
Yeah, if that.
Okay. So how far have we got up to at the moment?
Well, let's see if it'll let me find out. Replaying scenes. See, I've met someone called Simon and Emma. They're the first people I met.
Okay.
They
Is
knew
it
the
Simon?
victim.
Yeah.
Oh,
Detective Inspector
got ya.
Jenks. I'm investigating an incident in the village. Could I come in and ask you a few questions,
I
please?
certainly hope this doesn't cost me time showing
yeah.
you this.
Thank you.
No.
A recap's necessary, all the same.
Yeah.
We can just go through here if you want. Emma's working in the front room.
Hi.
This is Inspector James.
This is like just a recap of the whole story. Okay.
Pretty
There was a death in the village. Kate Vine, I believe you both knew her.
Yeah. Do you need to speak to both of us?
I'll just speak to Simon first, if that's okay.
I speak to them separately.
Just come through.
Is it okay in here?
Oh, this will be fine.
I'm deeply
Do you want
fascinated
anything?
with live action.
No, I won't be long.
Yeah.
Live action games.
Yeah. It's quite good.
Yes. Now, so far I've ascertained several people are
So
liars.
how did you know Kate was wearing a freedom necklace 18 months ago?
Alright.
At college?
Well, I knew Kate at college, but I didn't
Trick is
get to know her
get
till
people's
we started
facts
Atlas.
and try and
Right.
see if they
So
lie.
you didn't socialise with her at college?
No.
And you didn't socialise with her outside of Atlas?
No.
You didn't see her outside Atlas at all?
No, not at all.
See what I mean? Like,
Oh, sorry.
you see what I mean? I have to try and find people who are liars.
Got ya.
I also met a bloke named James.
Okay.
A friend of Simon, well, more of an acquaintance.
Oh, so they don't really know each other that well.
They
I'm a police
do,
officer,
but
Detective Inspector
they're
Jenks.
not exactly friends.
It's alright, you can carry on if you want to.
Ah.
Just going. I'm investigating a death in the village, Kate Vine.
He's a
There
bit
was
of
a death
strange
recently.
individual.
I knew her.
Yeah.
Well, could I ask you a few questions, please?
A bit dark.
Well, if you give me your name and address, I'll come later on. Where do you live?
House.
And what's your name?
As you can see, he's a bit of a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
I've also met the woman at the pub.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, what can I get you?
Detective Inspector Jenks. Rebecca, is it?
Yeah.
There's been an incident in the village. I'm conducting an investigation. Could I ask you a few questions, please?
Right. Come through.
Thank you.
What's it about?
There's been an unexplained death locally, not sure if you've heard.
The student?
Yes.
Yes, it was dreadful news.
You're married to Ryan, one of the Atlas leaders, yes?
I suppose
Atlas
I
is the
am,
business
yes.
course. The students
Well, I
are
just
on.
wanted to ask a few questions about
All right.
Kate and Atlas, if that's okay.
I don't know if I'll be able to answer any of them, but sure.
Another little detail, I uncovered a rather astonishing truth about Emma, the one who's the girlfriend of that Simon bloke earlier. She apparently was having an affair with her with that pub woman's husband.
You said you
Oh,
went to
wow,
an
okay.
Atlas meeting with Simon.
Yes.
That's interesting
Oh,
because
so
I happen to know that
something's going on
Ryan is
there
the
then,
main
by the
lecturer
looks
at
of it.
Atlas.
Sorry?
But you say you never met him.
Hmm.
Why did you say you don't know him?
Okay, I need to tell you something. I just need to make sure Simon doesn't find out.
I won't be telling Simon anything he doesn't have to
Oh,
hear.
That
And
was
you
a
can't
lucky
tell
guess on my
Rebecca
part,
either.
wasn't it?
Go on.
yeah,
Okay, so the affair that happened
yeah,
was,
just managed
was
to
between
press
Ryan and I.
yeah, you
I was having
found
the
out
affair.
that
And
she
Kate
lied,
So Kate was
trying to
blackmailing
cover it
both
up.
of you.
Yeah,
She didn't care about
the
me.
affair happened.
It was part of the course, you see, having to take all these risks. She thought it was funny to turn it back on Ryan.
Oh,
She thought I wouldn't care.
People on
But you
this
did.
course are encouraged to take risks.
Yes, I was already with Simon when Ryan
Yeah.
and I, and I didn't want Simon finding out, and Kate thought
Sounds
that
like
he
this
wouldn't, but I
course
didn't want
is
her
a-
risking it.
quite a fishy one.
And then if Rebecca
Very much
found
so.
out, then Simon would definitely have found out, and then it would have blown up, and it would have just been a big mess.
It's a bit of a mismatch.
So you
On the
just
one hand, they're
argued
encouraged to wear
and
masks so they
what?
can apparently assume a different identity.
Well, she just stormed off and
Yeah.
broke the window.
But it's a bit pointless
And that
because
was
people
it.
who know
You
who
didn't
are
see her
behind
again
the
that
mask
night?
anyway.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure?
Maybe it's just to cover it. Maybe it's sort of like
Yes.
a click, so outsiders don't know
Promise.
what's going on with those people.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
Yeah,
This is another chap who runs the course.
right.
You won't like
You mind not defacing public
Ah, I
property,
see.
please?
him. I don't like him.
What's it to you?
Well, I'm a
A brat
policeman.
in the woods.
And that's supposed to make what difference exactly?
It means that you do exactly what I tell you to do.
Or what? Or you arrest me?
No, I'll give you a fine this time.
So, if I do something that you don't like, I have to give you some money. What happens if you do something that I don't like? You're going to give me some money?
Look, I do not have time to discuss it at the moment. Could you just go?
Pathetic.
If he asked me that question, I probably would have said, "That is a very good question. Why don't you take it up with my superior at the police station? Either way, jog on."
Yeah. Definitely a swat.
Yes. I also learned that there was learned of this individual. I don't know him, but he had something interesting
you?
to say.
Private eye.
No, I'm a police inspector.
Who are you looking for?
I'm investigating a death. in the
Ironically,
village.
they're both PIs.
That student.
All right.
Police
I
inspector,
did one last year
private
too.
investigator.
Same place.
Get it?
Did
PIs.
what?
Drowned a student. Ask that psycho about it. He runs that business cult thing up
He
at
thinks
the
the business
big
course
house.
is a cult, and he thinks the person was,
Bunch of nut jobs.
and he thinks they've murdered somebody else.
Hey, what was the student's name?
Business cult thing up at the big house.
Liam.
Ah, so a
something.
cult disguised as a business course.
Is it though?
Hmm.
I mean, he's probably
West-
drunk. He's probably drunk enough to believe anything. But anyway, asking about the fellow Liam.
Liam something, poor sod.
Yes. Quick call to
What?
the local. Quick call to the station gave the information of that, and then this James bloke delivered some interesting information.
When you say herbal tea, Do you mean salvia?
Right, okay.
Probably.
So you traded
Found
salvia
drugs in
tea
his,
with Simon for his
greenhouse.
homebrew.
So,
So why did you say you didn't give salvia to anybody else? Did you give it to anybody else? How many people did you give it to? Did you give it to Kate?
No,
How about Liam?
I didn't have anything to do with him dying, if that's what you mean.
So you did give him salvia?
Yes, I gave him salvia because he asked for it, but that's not what killed him.
Well, he committed suicide, James, because of psychological issues that probably weren't helped by him trying hallucinogenic drugs.
Didn't commit suicide. You don't know anything about him. You don't know what happened.
This
Okay,
fellow pretends
so
to
what
know a
happened
lot
then?
because
Do you
he's a
even
bit of
know
a
about Third
conspiracy
Eye?
freak.
Go on.
You don't know about Third Eye. We don't know about Third Eye. You know nothing about Liam's death. I mean, forget salvia.
Fine, tell me then.
He also has a
Third
supernatural
Eye was a
belief
cult.
towards
We had our
black
very own
mirrors.
psycho cult operating right
A
here from our village
supernatural
hall.
I
I got
believe
rid
they
of them
call it
single-handed.
scrying.
I'm the one who got rid of Third Eye.
Okay.
Did they tell you that at the station?
Okay, start again. They were what?
You don't know anything, do you? Look,
The idea about scrying is you look at a black mirror and you see
they were reeling in
things.
students, pretending to be some sort of
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
life course, you
Kinda
know.
like the,
we can make your life better sort of crap.
Bit where
Then they were putting everyone
Simba
through
sees
this
his father
brainwashing
in the
program to
first,
make them
Lion King
compliant
movie.
and selling them on.
Oh, yeah.
It's all there.
Anyway, Liam and
What
James
do you
here
mean,
uncovered
selling
this
them
cult.
on?
Selling them.
I
Objects,
see.
commodities.
Third eye.
To who?
To anyone who could afford them. Top politicians,
Making
famous
complaints and
celebrities,
selling them
wealthy
on.
businessmen, you name it.
What for?
You don't get it, do you?
Trafficking.
Third Eye were making and selling slaves. They were black market slave traders. They were wiping people's personalities using ECT, brainwashing, cocktails of hard drugs, deliberately turning them into perfect slaves. You know how much slaves are worth on the black market these days?
No.
Millions. And I'm talking per slave.
As you can
That's
see,
why
the
anyone who
fellow's a
stood
bit
up
of
to them and threatened to go public like Liam was just killed off.
a bit of a
He
conspiracy.
didn't give it down.
nut.
Yeah.
So you're saying Liam was murdered by Third Eye?
Exactly what I'm saying. So I started looking into it. They were all saying it was suicide, but there's no way.
So, did you ever actually meet Liam?
I found out about him.
And how did you find out about all this other stuff?
It's obvious, you can tell.
Obvious?
I met some of the students. You could see straight away there was something wrong. They were like zombies. And I could tell when someone's got ECT damage or when they've been through mind conditioning. It's just obvious.
Probably because he's been under
US
that
military
effect.
used all these techniques back in the 50s. It's all documented, you can read about it. They showed all the same
Like
signs.
he was spying.
So, did you
Sorry,
ever
can you repeat
actually
that?
go to a meeting?
No, but I knew what went on
How?
from what people said who'd been through it.
Okay, so do you know anyone I could speak to who did go through it?
Well, no. Look, it doesn't matter. Why did they close down if it wasn't true?
Maybe
They just
because someone was
closed down and
spreading bad
disappeared overnight
propaganda.
after I put all the flyers up.
So he
Bit
was
of a
just following
coincidence.
misinformation.
That was just after Liam
Could be.
died.
Yeah,
And do you think that had anything to do with it?
maybe, but it was the flyers that forced them to close.
It depends just how crazy you think
Okay.
this fellow is.
Do you mind if I keep
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, you investigate it. It'll all come out. Third Eye definitely killed Liam.
I mean, this guy apparently... This is a fellow who... What's the right word? He looks into a mirror for meditation.
Right.
He's also storing illegal hallucinogenic in his greenhouse.
Oh,
And called it mint, trying to stop me from finding out what it was.
I see.
So it depends just how crazy you think the guy is.
Yeah.
Now I just need to find out where I was. Okay. This is pretty much how I've been getting around, just using the map. I'm going to go to this Atlas place, going to see the teacher behind the business course.
Okay.
Your gut reaction, out of all the people I've met so far, do you think any one of them's the killer?
Bit difficult to say at the moment.
Well, let's meet their...
Ryan was interviewed in the lounge, according to the report. That must be his office.
let's have a chat with the one who runs the place.
Yeah.
This will give you a chance to see the evidence I've collected as
Ryan!
well. Hi, Ryan.
Yes.
Detective Inspector Jenks, I'm conducting an investigation in the area. Wouldn't mind asking you a few questions, alright?
Come in, Inspector.
Thank you.
He looked around, almost got the impression there were several policemen behind him.
Oh, looks a bit paranoid, eh?
I suspect people do have a reason to be, given that two people have been murdered and calling it suicide.
So you wanted to speak to me?
Yeah.
I believe that Kate Vine was a student at Atlas.
Oh, see the look on his face.
Kate Vine? Well, yes, she was. All of this has been thoroughly investigated, Inspector. It was suicide.
Was it suicide?
Well, we have reason to believe there may be rather more to it than that.
Really?
Yes, Ryan, more to it.
Then, in that case, I'd be prepared to assist in any way possible.
That's very assisting of you. How much do you think this fellow's going to lie to me?
A lot.
Well, let's ask about the victim in question.
Yeah.
I believe the last time you saw Kate Vine was at the pub last Friday, then you came straight back with some of the students, is that right?
Yes, I like to have a glass of port or two after a long day, and benefits of being married to the landlady.
How did she seem that night?
The landlady?
Kate.
Oh, Kate. Well, she was her usual self, drunk.
That was usual.
It was for her, yes. I mean, it didn't impair her ability, though. She was a very bright star, lots of potential, very enthusiastic.
So she seemed to be enjoying the course?
Well, as far as anybody could tell, yes.
When did you first meet her?
When she joined, about 3 months ago.
And you hadn't met her before then?
No.
So you didn't suspect there was anything wrong?
Well, do you mean, did I expect her to drown herself? Of course I didn't inspect her. It was quite a shock. Nobody expected that.
Yes, the victim does come off as a bit of an unexpected individual. She has a drinking problem, but she seemed to have been enjoying life.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Exactly.
Her driving license was found by the lake where her body was found, and there was a piece of tape attached to it.
Have you seen this before?
Not that I recall.
You don't know whether Kate had lost this or not?
No, I've never seen it before, sorry.
Also, there was an unlocked bicycle at
Does
the
Simon
lodge.
Thompson ride a bike, do you know?
I think so, yes. I think he drives as well, but I might be mistaken.
I don't know why I just asked him that.
Have you tried Simon's homebrew?
Does he make homebrew? No, I haven't had the pleasure, sorry.
I don't suppose you've made a note of people's names, Mike.
Sort of.
Know what this is?
Yes. It's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol that we use on the course. It's supposed to represent freedom from the chains of your ancestry.
Have you ever bought one of these?
I haven't, but I've seen the students wearing them.
Have you seen one of these before?
Freedom from your ancestors.
I believe that looks like a scrying mirror to
That's
me.
what he said.
You have seen one before?
Well, I used to have one myself, actually, along with lots of other bits and pieces of that nature. Silly things, you know.
Really?
Yes, when I was in my teenage years, I had quite an obsession with that kind of thing. I was a very somber child, and well, not that you could tell, always playing fantasy games, reading books about that kind of malarkey.
I wonder if he was a
What
Satanist
sort of books did you
once.
read?
Well,
Maybe. A bit
books
of a
on black
cult,
magic, not
fan.
the chocolates. Witchcraft, satanic rituals, that kind of thing. I grew out of it, of course.
But you're not into that sort of thing now.
Of course I'm not. I mean, I don't need to believe in the supernatural, Inspector. The natural world is far more interesting. Don't you think so?
I really can't say as I do, in fact, frankly. So he does know about scrying mirrors.
So yeah, he knows his stuff.
If he's married to the pub lady, he probably knows there was a broken window there.
What do you know about the broken window at the back of the pub?
Oh, Rebecca told me about it.
The,
I don't know how it got smashed, though. I told her to tape over it. We can't have anybody cutting themselves. You have to be very health and safety conscious these days.
He may not know it, but earlier on I discovered that was the victim who smashed the window. She got into an argument with the girl that this bloke was having an affair with.
Yeah.
This is the argument in question.
Do you know anything about an argument in the pub last Friday?
What time?
I believe it wasn't long after the pub opened.
No. I usually leave for the manor house about 6. I start preparations around 6:30. I like to get a head start.
Tell me about this.
It's the first one we ever had made. We had it designed by an agency after we'd spent weeks trying to find a name for this place.
It took you weeks?
Don't be like that, Inspector. I thought it was a rather grand name. Actually, if I'm being honest, I plucked it out of thin air one night in the George while I was having a few gin and tonics. Well, actually, somebody left a book and I stole it.
Well, it's not an arrestable offence, I suppose.
No.
If I did this, would that mean anything to you?
If you remember.
It's a devil's sign,
yes,
isn't it?
Of course.
Is that what you're getting at, Inspector?
This is not something you use on the course.
Of course it's not something we use on the course, Inspector. I don't even know what that could possibly mean exactly.
That's interesting, because
the rock horns is a devil sign.
Yeah. Yes, I didn't learn that for a long time.
Doesn't know how the finger symbol could be used, okay?
Sorry, I was thinking of something there.
Yeah, it's alright.
Doesn't matter. No matter, I'll get back to it later.
Yeah. What do you know about the cardboard masks?
Can you tell me a bit about the phrase "free to be free"?
Free to be free, my favourite motto.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Mark?
Well, we teach our students that people, they suffer from excessive guilt, don't they? Excessive self-criticism, excessive doubt. Evils of excess, we call them. And we tell our students that if they rid themselves of these evils, then they're free to realise their full potential.
Who came up with all this?
I have a background in psychology.
Honestly?
Yeah, don't look so surprised, Inspector. There's an intellect lurking in here.
When did you come up with the phrase?
When we were based at the village hall. When I say we, I came up with the phrase. Dad's more the money man.
And very successful at it too, I hear.
Oh, he's successful, but he's not a creative man. Dad suffers from a lack of imagination.
The fellow thinks that it's better to leave guilt behind. Sorry, what did you say about cardboard masks?
Yeah, I think apparently, all the students wore them. Maybe he might be aware of why you would do that.
I haven't asked about that yet.
Can you tell me about this?
Haven't seen that for a while.
Yeah,
they had a friend who used to make them for us for the course. He passed away last year.
What does the symbol mean?
It's borrowed from paganism. It's the symbol of the triple goddess. The mother, maiden, and crone, represented by the waxing and waning of the moon. It's an ancient symbol. It predates Christianity. Some people say that it dates back to Paleolithic times.
And is that relevant to the course?
Well, no. I mean, it's a symbol we dabbled with, but it's not particularly relevant. We don't use it on the course, no.
There's a thought. I think.
Okay. Oh, it's just a hunch, I guess.
Yes, I'm thinking of something here, but I'm...
What is it you're thinking?
not so sure. I think I'm just going to carry on for a bit.
Do you know what this is?
Looks like chopped tea bags to me. What is it?
I just thought you might know.
I don't know anything about plants, Inspector. What you should do is ask Rebecca. She knows far more about these things than I do. Messy things, growing things.
She does. She was the one who told me it was a hallucinogenic. This is what she said it was.
Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
No. What is it?
It's a hallucinogenic plant. A legal one. At least for the moment.
I've no interest in drugs, Inspector. My job. That's the only drug I need. As trite as that may sound.
Do you know any students who may have used hallucinogens?
No. My students aren't interested in that kind of thing. Besides, no one is allowed drugs or alcohol onto the site. I don't think anyone has ever brought drugs to Atlas.
You have any medicines on site at all?
No, we're not allowed. Insurance purposes.
Interesting. Well, let's go on to the big issue. Let's talk about the other person who died.
What can you tell me about Liam?
Oh, Liam. You mean the boy who committed very unfortunate sin?
Did you know him?
Oh, yes. Well, I say know him. I met him in the pub. Seemed very happy sort of person. Well, I say he seemed happy. You can't think, can he?
Surely not. Maybe he was talking to you.
What do you know about this?
Not much.
So you've never seen this before? You don't know anything about Third Eye?
Well, I don't remember seeing it now.
You don't recognise any of the symbols on it?
No, sorry.
Doesn't recognise any of the symbols?
Really?
I think that might be what I was getting at.
Hold on, he's lying because he's just showing about the masks.
Yes, well done.
Ryan, you've just told me all about the moon symbols on the mask. Then you're claiming you don't know anything about the symbols on the flyer. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yes. Sorry, yes.
Oh, yes,
yes,
now
I do
he
remember
remembers.
So what did you know about Third Eye?
Oh, not much, really. Never came into contact with them.
That explanation was way too short. Ryan's definitely hiding something.
Indeed. There's something else.
Yeah.
Never came into contact with Third Eye, he said.
Aha.
Never came to contact, yeah.
According to the flyer, this Third Eye group was based at the village hall, is that right?
That is.
Was it?
And that's where you were based, wasn't it? Yeah, you said you invented the Atlas phrase free to be free while you were based at the village hall.
So I did.
So you must have come into contact with Third Eye at some point. You were using the same hall.
Well,
be horribly ignorant.
I'm afraid I
got the idea.
haven't been entirely honest with you, Inspector.
Go on.
You see, Third Eye is, or was, Atlas under a different name.
Oh, so he was the cult James was talking
Third Eye.
In a new, improved form, yes.
And you ran Third Eye?
With Dad, yes.
So you must have known Liam. You didn't just meet him, did you?
Yes, I knew him, Inspector.
They're one and the same.
All of this has been thoroughly investigated.
Atlas's third eye.
Cleared up.
Yes, it is.
You've been investigating about his death?
They dropped the case. We didn't have anything to do with it. Well, when I say drop the case, I mean a police investigation is one thing, but what the public thinks is another. They threatened to go public, and then James bloody Wilson started distributing his flyers, and that was it. No choice. It was an end to it.
You had to change the name.
We'd already paid the family an out-of-court settlement. Thought that was an end to it. But then James, his cronies, they leave it alone. So we had to close down.
They thought it was a cult
Buy a new
selling
place.
slaves.
Rebrand.
Yeah.
So actually,
So they kind of slandered
reopened
them.
Yeah.
Yes,
As
they did.
Atlas.
As Atlas.
And it
But
worked.
were they right?
Up till now, yes.
So you knew
Question.
James Wilson too?
We knew James, but he didn't know us as such. Oh, he was very quick to shoot us down, but he didn't do anything like actually coming to the course to see what he was about.
So James wouldn't know that you were now running Atlas.
Not unless he came to one of our courses.
And how much of all that stuff was true? ECT machines, brainwashing.
I'm afraid that exists only exclusively in the mind of Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Inspector. He
All
was
we
really
do
going to admit
is
that.
make better business people. We challenge their prejudices and presumptions. Why don't you come along and see for yourself? The course starts in 15 minutes. Excuse me, Inspector.
That is his phone. His course also makes people lose guilt.
I can't come
so
back now. Well, you have my card.
Makes them like sociopathic.
All right.
good word. I was going to use that, but I thought it was prejudicial. I thought it'd be prejudicial.
Yeah, so like they know what they're doing is wrong, but just do it anyway.
That was that. I have to go back.
It worked
You can
on
come and
Simon.
meet him if you like.
Yeah,
He thinks,
I'll come and have a
he
chat.
thinks guilt is self-destructive, serves no purpose.
yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
I'm about to meet his daddy.
To be perfectly honest, Dad's a great businessman, but he lacks imagination. He does, however, believe in the power of the individual, when taught by the right teacher, of course. Ryan!
Ow.
Just coming. He's through here.
Let's see what this individual is like then.
To whom do I owe the pleasure?
Detective Inspector Jenks. I am investigating a death in the village. I believe you knew Kate Vine.
Oh, I thought all this was dealt with, Inspector. You do know that Kate Vine was a gherkin short of a big mad. You do now. You must forgive my son, Inspector. He still can't summon up the courage to come straight to the point. So what do you want to know?
That's a new expression.
Well, a few more questions if you don't mind.
But I do mind. I'm a very busy man. Try asking an intelligent question, like, do I mind being quizzed about a once promising student who turned into a useless drunk? Ryan, would you mind leaving us for a while?
I'll go back to the centre.
Listen to this guy.
One or two things there. Maybe if you need me dead.
Listen to this guy.
You may begin, Mr. Holmes, although I'm not going to be able to help you. I don't have much to do with the course nowadays, so I can't give you any hard information.
That's as maybe, but we
No, that's
need-
as is. But if you want my opinion, I'd be quite happy to give it to you. So, fire away.
Okay, thank you. Wow, Paul certainly doesn't take any prisoners. It's obvious who's pulling the strings in this family, and I wonder what they got up to in their previous guise as Third Eye.
Well, he wants me to get...
8 o'clock already.
He wants me to get to the point. I'll get to the point. Let's talk about...
How
the
well
victim.
did you know Kate?
Hardly knew it at all. Met her a few times. But the course, that's about all.
So when was the last time you saw her?
Last Friday. I just popped out to the course and about 7.
Did you speak to her then?
It's possible.
And how did she seem? Was she happy, sad, preoccupied?
She was drunk.
That's just how quick he said that.
Hmm.
It's almost like he had to think about it.
Yeah.
Do you know if Kate had lost this? It's her driving licence.
How would I know that?
You didn't see it lying around anywhere?
No.
I know that look. That's the look of an individual who thinks to himself, I don't need to answer that in detail, so I'm just going to say no.
Yeah, trying to keep to the story.
Did you know anything about Simon Thompson's bike?
No.
No. Look on this guy's face. I love this guy.
Ever tried Simon's homebrew? Simon Thompson?
No, I haven't. I wouldn't touch anything that has had Simon's fingers in it.
Doesn't that come out?
Have you seen this before?
Looks familiar. Where did you find it?
It was, in the woods.
Presumably had something to do with Kate or a killer.
Well, that's what I'm trying to establish.
Shouldn't it be in an evidence bag, Inspector, in case of contamination?
I didn't have one with me, unfortunately.
Well, don't go testing it for DNA, will you? It's got yours all over it.
It's almost like he's telling me how to do my job.
What do you know about this?
It's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol we use sometimes on the course.
Sometimes?
Little bird in cage flying away. Freeing themselves from their past is the analogy.
Didn't Ryan say
So do they
something
get them when
different?
they join the course or something?
No, not as a rule. I think I bought one once as a present.
Oh, not for Kate, by any chance?
No, not for Kate. I can't really remember who it was for. A birthday present, maybe for one of the students.
Which student?
I've no idea.
No idea. Insists he didn't buy it for Kate. Can't imagine why he probably would want to, I suppose.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one of these before?
I believe it's a scrying mirror, pagan thing.
Everyone seems to
Ever
know
used
about it.
Why would I use a scrying mirror?
So you have no interest at all in this sort of thing?
No.
No.
Does the Atlas course use them at all?
Not at all. Strange question.
Yeah. One would think you were lying when you said no. That is a strange question, isn't it? It's doubtful that Paul would know anything about a broken window at the pub. What about the mask? Know anything about them?
What do you know about this?
Looks like a mask.
You don't recognise it?
Not particularly. Looks like a monarch mask.
Monarch?
What's a monarch mask?
Monarch is fancy dress outfitters. Ryan goes there sometimes.
So Ryan uses the shot which made this mask. Ryan didn't tell me that.
What did you hear about an argument in the pub last Friday?
I didn't go to the pub last Friday.
You didn't hear anything about an argument in the pub?
Should I have?
No, that's fine.
Now that leads me to think he was waiting for me to ask about the argument in the pub so he could say, no, I did not go to the pub.
Yeah.
It's almost making me think about Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air during that hallucination which his son had, and he says, I have no recollection of the event in question.
Yeah,
no
like,
recollection? I did this all for you. Ever since Mom left, it's all been for you. I have no recollection of the event in question. And he does that evil laugh while Carlton's I used to strangle him.
oh god, yeah.
James Avery, rest in peace, buddy.
Definitely.
Could you tell me a bit about this?
Had it designed by an agency.
And when was that?
Last year.
Was that when you started the business?
Yes, I suppose so.
Strange thing is, I could see this guy doing that to Ryan given the chance, don't you?
If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
I presume you've seen an Atlas student doing that.
So this is an Atlas thing.
Well, it wasn't exactly our idea. The students started doing it spontaneously to show commitment to the cause. Cute, really. Which student did you see doing that?
I'm not sure, but he was carving it into a tree. I told him to stop.
Did you really? Why?
Defacing public property.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What's the punishment for that kind of thing nowadays? Prison sentence?
Oh, it's usually a fine.
All right. What about defiling public liberty? Does that carry a fine too?
Oddly enough, the student in question argued a similar point. Is that something you encourage on the Atlas course?
We encourage people who put ideas first and moral anachronisms second. The problem with the law, Inspector, is that it's out of date.
Well, I suppose that's a matter of opinion. However, you still respect it.
Respect it? I abide by it. We all play by the book, Inspector, but that's only because of the threat of possible incarceration.
I see. Reluctantly abides by the law.
Reluctantly.
You get the immediate impression this guy is probably encouraging people to be criminals.
Yeah. Reluctantly abides by the law. The freeing yourself from guilt to become great. Yeah.
Apparently seems to only abide by the law because he would face consequences otherwise.
Exactly.
Can you tell me a little about the Atlas phrase, free to be free?
Yes.
Where did you hear that?
I was talking to one of your students.
It's a little phrase we conjured up to summarize our objectives.
What is your objective, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine, or do you mean the course's objective?
On the course.
The objective of the course is to free people from bondage. We teach that most people are crippled by their past, by guilt, their attitudes, their beliefs. All that kind of nonsense.
Some extent he's right.
Cripples people.
Feeling guilty in business is like a meat eater feeling guilty in an abattoir. Guilt comes from the archaic emotional centers of the brain. It's a vestige of our animal ancestry, that's all. In business, you heed it at your peril. I'm sorry, Inspector, my house appears to be haunted. Would you mind closing the door?
I do. Do it yourself. It's your house.
So, you believe that guilt has no place in business?
None at all. I have few beliefs, Inspector, but that's one of them.
And what if you have done something wrong?
Well, that's the whole point. Guilt has nothing to do with it.
Interesting opinion.
I'd teach people how to be entrepreneurs then.
Yes. To some extent I do agree. Sociopaths do potentially make good business people.
Psychopaths even better.
True. That much I learned from Channel 4 Psychopath Night. The only problem I've got is telling people that guilt is totally worthless. How does one learn from one's mistakes?
Exactly.
How does one recognise the fact that, how is one able to take responsibility for hurting somebody else?
Yeah.
If we don't have that, we can't really have common good.
Exactly. Nor can we personally grow.
Without common good, we're not really developing as a society. Look at everything that's happening in this country with common good lacking.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what though, that guy's laugh earlier was pretty magnetic.
Indeed.
Know what this is by any chance?
I've no idea. Gardening isn't my kind of thing. Rebecca would probably know. I presume you've met Rebecca.
Yes,
I'm sure she'd enjoy telling you what it is. She's the kind of woman who likes to feel superior.
Likes to feel superior?
Would probably marry a millionaire and then decide to run her own pub.
Yes, why was that?
Well, she isn't exactly housewife material. She likes to be in control, like Wyatt. Shame, isn't it, that I'm in control of both of them?
The smile of an individual who's a puppet master and is proud of it.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum, or magic mint?
Sounds like it might be a drug.
It's a hallucinogenic plant. Legal, as a matter of fact.
I'm not a drug taker, Inspector. I have no enthusiasm for voluntarily poisoning your brain.
Admirable.
And you've never seen anyone on the course taking it?
Well, if someone had, they wouldn't have done it openly. We don't allow drugs or alcohol on our course. We like to tell the students that success is the best drug. Whether you buy into that, of course, is another matter.
Also admirable. What say we talk about Liam? Let's see if this brings up a conscience thought.
How well did you know Liam?
Yeah.
Liam who?
Liam, who took his life.
Oh.
Well, as far as I remember, he was a good student, confident, outgoing.
You didn't notice any problems?
I believe he had problems at home.
Were you there when he died?
Yeah.
Yes.
And afterwards? You didn't see him after the meeting?
No.
Yeah.
What was Liam like that night?
No. Apart from being drunk, or possibly because of that, he seemed perfectly happy.
He was drunk?
Well, I assume the bottle in his hand contained whiskey and not lemonade.
Lots of similarities to Kate, don't you think? Drinking, depression, is that normal for the students?
People come into the Atlas course for quick solutions to their problems. And when they don't get them as quickly as they might have liked, sometimes their impatience gets the better of them.
Oh yes, blaming it on the victim, I see. Just how emotionless is this guy?
Yeah. Like, no empathy at all.
What do you know about this?
So you've been graced with Goebbels' company already, have you?
Goebbels?
James, our local minister for propaganda. I suppose Ryan already told you about our actual previous incarnation.
He explained, yes.
Did he tell you anything scandalous?
Not unless you count the suicide.
Well, these things happen.
Was it your idea?
The suicide?
The suicide
Third
happens?
eye.
Yeah, I suppose it was. As my son had started to atrophy, I decided I ought to give him something to do.
And Third Eye was the same as Atlas, teaching business skills.
Very similar.
So Liam's death didn't prompt you to make any changes?
There was nothing we could do about Liam's death, Inspector, any more than we could do anything about Kate's. It was out of our control.
You can't blame me for wondering, Paul. 2 student deaths in 2 years.
It's called a coincidence, Inspector. I expect they ate fast food also. But you're not investigating all the local chippies, are you?
I might. I just might. You don't know that.
Called a coincidence.
Yes. Atlas doesn't allow drugs or alcohol on site.
Yeah.
But Liam had been drinking all night at the seminar. That's a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you don't allow drink or drugs onto the site, why did you allow Liam to drink whiskey all night?
Time for me to be cleverer than you,
Well,
old man.
We did give him various warnings. Did try to stop him, but didn't work.
So you don't
But you let him
enforce your
stay
own
on the
rules.
course?
Yeah, well,
Professional.
Couldn't throw him out.
Indeed.
This isn't a primary
that was a business skill.
Inspector. We're not the police. We
Enforce
can't
the law.
enforce these rules. If they pay their fees,
Didn't
they're
work.
entitled to stay on the course.
And what if they want to take drugs?
As long as they do it with discretion, frankly, I don't care if they want to wipe or inject paint stripper all over their faces.
But surely as the tutor,
Do you
they're supposed
store
to
any
enforce
alcohol at Atlas?
No.
Apparently
Is there a
he doesn't
kitchen?
think the
Why
responsibility
do you want to
is
go
his.
down there and check?
Well, obviously you wouldn't mind if what you're saying is true.
Of course I wouldn't mind. It's past the lavatories down the corridor, but you won't find any drugs in there or alcohol.
Whether I find alcohol at Atlas or not, it probably isn't particularly relevant. But
No.
it's worth a look anyway.
Yes.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Let's go check the kitchen then.
I get the feeling
Yeah,
I
I got
might be
everything you
seeing
needed.
a lot of Paul tonight.
Oh yes. I think I'll be seeing a lot of Paul myself. But first, let's go inspect that kitchen. Be hilarious if we did find some heroin there, wouldn't it?
So the kitchen must be down the corridor there, if what Paul said is true.
Oh yes, if Paul said is true. That is an interesting if, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can find in here then. I click on the magnifying glass and Jenks's detective skills come into action.
Interesting. Well, there's a TV right there with a DVD player. I don't think anyone will mind if I have a quick look at this.
A DVD with 3 X's and a do not move sign. I'm not sure I want to play it, if I'm honest with you, but I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, let's have a look, shall we?
What the hell? Are you keeping an eye on the comments, Mike?
Yeah, there's nothing yet.
Well, that was odd. Looked like someone pickpocketing. Why make a video of it?
Indeed. Why make a video of pickpockets?
Yeah.
Let's see what other DVDs we got here. Maybe there'll be a Deadpool CD amongst this little pile. Oh no, not him again.
Freedom, true freedom, means freedom from many vices that society had traditionally believed to be virtues. Self-criticism, self-doubt, guilt. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not virtues. These are sins. Born of a fake morality implanted deep within our minds and collective consciousness by governments and religions through the ages, with the sole purpose of preventing the masses, stopping us from achieving the same success, happiness and freedom enjoyed by those at the very pinnacle of society. I'm going to show you that common morality is nothing more than the cynical creation of an elite desperate to stay in power. An elite hell-bent on preventing you from reaching your full potential by making you feel guilty for pursuing success. But the good news is that you can take back control. You can become the success you deserve to be. Atlas will give you a unique and powerful advantage. Life in all its technicolor glory can be yours. All that you have to do is to stay, embrace it, enjoy it, and learn to love your ambition. Welcome to Atlas.
Ambition over morality and guilt.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See
Well,
why people would find it so attractive.
well, one can see why we would. One can see how we can succeed by doing away with guilt.
Yeah.
But we can also see how we can also succeed by proving we are strong enough to embrace our guilt and succeed anyway.
Exactly.
Frankly, in this particular day and age, it doesn't especially matter what advantage you've got. If you're going to fail, you're going to fail.
True.
Well, is this the same DVD or is this something else?
We'll try it.
Yes, it is. I've seen enough of that guy for one night. Well, let's say we leave the kitchen. I don't think we'll find any cocaine here.
Nah, so everything seems to be alright.
Wonder if anybody knows about this DVD.
Interesting.
No answer.
Let yourself go.
Oh yes, he said there was going to be a course.
Feel your soul.
Lifting. What the hell is this?
Then wait. For the moment to break free.
Oh. So, it's sort of casual black magic.
Well, could you come back later, please?
What's going on here?
Voodoo.
Please, leave.
Sorry, Ryan, there's a few more questions I have to ask you yet, and time's ticking by.
Leave.
Okay.
Is that fire even real? I mean, the purposes of this game, is that real?
Yeah, I think it's meant to be just for safety reasons.
Well, I don't think we'll get much from here.
No?
Oh, hello. Let's try and present our findings to the residents of the Eden Lodge.
Yes.
Try Simon.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Let's just start with the DVD.
Have you seen this before?
No. No, sorry.
Doesn't recognise it.
That's all for the moment. Thank you. Have you seen this before?
No? Don't think so.
Suppose it's not too surprising.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
If someone was videotaping a mugging, the last thing they'd do is probably show it to someone. I mean, that'd be like America's Dumbest Criminals, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. Seen this before?
The writing looks familiar, but no.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
So he finds it familiar, the other two don't know what it is.
Hmm.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Do you know anything about this?
No, sorry. Ask Ryan.
Ask Ryan. Okay.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
You think it's possible Ryan who made the DVD? Because Paul finds it familiar, probably recognises his son's handwriting.
Yeah, we would, yeah.
Beg your pardon?
The DVD! That's all they took. Must have been deliberate. Someone clearly wanted that back. Nice and helpful of them to leave a piece of evidence behind, though.
Closes a door, opens a window. I think I'll probably start with Paul with this before I go back to Atlas and something else happens.
Yes, of course.
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
What can you tell me about doll burning at Atlas?
Well, not very much. It's one of Ryan's ideas. My son is under the illusion that he's a genius.
The delusion that he's a genius.
Have you seen this before?
No, I don't think so.
You don't recognise the shop?
No.
Is there someone else who works at Atlas? Someone who may have been there tonight?
No.
Does that bag look familiar to you?
Cleaner. Comes at strange times, but then he's a strange boy.
Hold on, he took Monarch
Work
costumes. He
experience.
told the
As
mask.
a cleaner.
Well, we did try him in accounts,
Yeah,
but it didn't
now
work
he's saying he
out.
doesn't know the shop.
Doesn't know where the bag's from, yet you know heard of monarch masks.
Yes.
Aha.
Cardboard mask.
Do you visit Monarch costumes a lot?
No. I used to go in there occasionally. Why?
Yeah.
But you do know the shop?
Yes, of course I do.
You see, Paul, I thought you said you didn't know where this bag was from.
Well,
Monarch costumes.
maybe I do.
Idiot.
This was used to put over my head, Paul, by a mugger. Would you like to tell me something?
Yes,
Are you
Paul.
suggesting that I had something to do with your mugging?
Hey.
Did you?
Did you?
You really asked the most ridiculous questions. Of course I didn't.
So why did you lie about the shop?
Well, I didn't have anything to do with your mugging, Inspector, but I might know somebody who did.
Go on.
Did Ryan mention Jason to you as a cleaner? Unfortunately, Ryan at some point told Jason that the DVD mustn't be removed from the site. So, when he saw you take it, he simply thought that he was doing us a favour by getting it back.
Is that
He
all?
isn't exactly what you'd call one of Darwin's best examples.
So what's on the DVD that's so special?
All right, it was something I did myself, a little stunt I pulled to amuse the students.
What kind of stunt?
I pretended to steal from the students. I emphasize the word pretended. The students knew all about it afterwards. Everything was above board.
Steal from students? Why?
We were doing a piece about pushing the limit, so I decided I would show them how it was done. Oh, don't look so serious, Inspector. I returned everybody's things immediately afterwards. No harm done.
And when was this?
Last year sometime.
At Third Eye or Atlas?
Third Eye, I think.
And this was before or after Liam died?
Well, since you'll probably find out anyway, it happened to be on the night that Liam died, as it happens. Before you ask. No. I didn't steal from him.
Do you think it's a good idea to encourage students to steal, Paul?
I
Someone
wasn't
else might
encouraging
have done.
students to steal. Policemen are so literal. Life is shades of grey, Inspector. Much as the Force might like it, it doesn't divide neatly into blacks and whites.
No, it doesn't.
Now, if you don't mind, you'd have to excuse me for a moment.
Saved by
You
the
know
bell.
where the door
Paul.
is?
Yeah.
Well, evidently that mugging was attributed to someone being encouraged to steal things. That much is obvious.
I see he was quick enough to claim he didn't steal from Liam. What kind of stunt was that
Yeah,
anyway?
he's definitely,
Liam dying later
up
the
to
same night?
something.
It's just all a bit too
It's
suspicious.
not related to the crime, it's definitely something else.
Yes. Wonder what else goes on at Brandon's house.
Sure that's a... Yeah, sure you want to try, give it a try?
Where is it? I found this.
Remote.
That's interesting.
So, those are Ryan's guitars, kept in a garage. Not really the best place to keep them.
Well, I guess if you haven't got space, where else are you going to keep them?
Guitars.
Okay, thinking where to
Ask you a couple more things, please.
If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
No. Why?
It's okay, thanks.
off chance, I guess.
Do you know the phrase, free to be free?
Yeah. It's an Atlas thing.
He says that like
I
it's
first
not
heard
her
it when I
thing.
went with Simon.
What did they say about it?
They said that you shouldn't feel guilty if you do something wrong. I don't agree with that.
No?
No. No, I think you should feel guilty if you do something wrong.
What did Simon think?
I don't know, but I don't think he agreed with that either.
He does. Why don't you? I get the immediate impression this girl doesn't like to get with the program, so to speak.
You know what these are, by any chance?
No. Sorry. I don't know anything about plants or things like that, but you should ask Rebecca. She used to live on a farm. She'd know.
Yes, I did.
Ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's a drug, isn't it?
Yeah. Hallucinogenic drug. Ever tried it?
No, I've never taken any illegal
Let's see if
substances.
there's any contradiction.
You see a contradiction? Where?
I was just thinking she knows saliva's a hallucinogenic drug, but she doesn't know anything about plants.
It's conceivable. Suppose I can bring it up in conversation.
Maybe.
Nope, if it fades out it's not going to work. Although that did work on James earlier. He said he didn't know anything about plants, but he was at college studying plant science.
No.
I think that felt I don't think he really knew what who he was talking to.
What do you know
God, yeah.
about a student called Liam?
See what she knows about
committed
Liam's
suicide
death.
last
then.
year.
Only that I didn't know him really well.
You didn't know him really well.
I Have you seen this?
Yeah. It was all over college last year. James made it. Idiot.
So you don't agree with what I'm saying?
No, I don't agree with anything James says. He's absolutely crazy. He thinks that the government has been controlled by aliens and that we're all bugged. He's nuts.
Yes. But is he right?
What do you know about doll burning?
Doll burning, I think, was something that they did on the course. Simon mentioned it.
Oh, they didn't do that when you were there?
No.
Do you know the shop? Have you used it?
No, but I know where it is.
Geography, I suppose, is important.
Yeah.
What do you know about Paul Rand?
Paul the Slime.
You've obviously met him then.
Yes, I have.
What do you know about him committing a fake theft during one of the courses?
What, about him going through people's bags? Yeah, he tried that thing on me as well, weirdo.
So you were at Third Eye?
Not afraid of him?
Yes. Yes, I went there for a few months after college and I left because I hated it. And I didn't know Atlas was the same thing. And I went with Simon.
Does Simon know that?
No. I didn't want to burst his bubble, so I didn't say anything.
So he doesn't know you went to Third Eye?
No.
Ah! So is that where you met Ryan as well?
Yep.
Right. What didn't you like about the course?
Well, it was stupid. They just made you do things to other people and be abusive just to prove that you could, and I absolutely hated it.
What sort of things?
Oh, just stupid things. Nasty things to prove that you could do it. It was about not feeling guilty. And it was horrible. That's why I left.
And is Simon doing all of this stuff now?
No, I think they had to stop because it was just getting ridiculous. I think somebody got arrested or something.
Very interesting.
And it was that stupid idiot with carving the hand sign.
What do you know about Ryan's guitar collection?
I know he
Somebody
plays.
got arrested.
Because he tried to buy one off me.
Probably.
Do you play?
I used to. I used to be in a band, but I was a singer as well, so I got away with it.
Singer as well?
Yeah, I used to sing in a band every night. But sometimes it was in a pub, but usually at Rebecca's.
What was that called?
It was called Blackstone. And this guy from the record company once came to see us, and he said the band was rubbish, but that I was good. So after that, I don't think they liked me much, and then we broke up after college.
Can't hide talent.
Suppose not.
No? It wasn't called Blackstone.
No, apparently it was called Blackstone, but there's an interesting thought. Used to sing at a pub called Blackstone.
Oh.
And you didn't know Liam very well.
Aha.
That's a lie.
That
Liam
band
was-
you sang in, Blackstone.
So
Who else was
Liam
in the
was
band?
part of the band as well.
Just a few people from college.
Including Liam.
Yeah.
Why did you say you didn't know him?
Yes, why did
No,
you?
it's not that. I just thought
Who else was in
you
it?
meant that I didn't know about his suicide.
Oh.
Did you?
No, I was away on holiday.
When he died?
Yeah, I only knew him through the band.
That's...
She definitely knows more than she's saying. She was in a band with Liam, but didn't know about his problem? I'm not sure I believe you, Emma.
I really don't. I know it's here somewhere. You were at Third Eye when Paul pulled the stunt.
She joined Third Eye after leaving college.
You couldn't have been on holiday on the same day, Emma.
So, you witnessed Paul's money-stealing stunt, is that right?
Yes.
But you weren't there when Liam died.
No.
Don't quite understand that, you see, because Paul pulled the stunt on the same night.
Yes, he
Liam
did.
died later that evening.
I must have got mixed up.
So you don't know anything about Liam's death, even though you were there on that night?
No.
Emma.
It's kind of hard for me to arrest people if I can't get my facts straight.
Explain, don't you?
It was the stupid course, wasn't it?
Go on.
Well, we were all told to do stupid things, and then that thieving thing happened, and so...
Take a breath, Emma.
Liam killed himself because of me.
Pardon?
Why?
Liam had a birthmark on the side of his face. And no one would mention anything, even though we all knew it was there. And they all thought it was ugly. So I thought I'd say something, and I even asked Paul if it was okay to say it.
What did he say?
He said he wouldn't mind.
God.
Then Liam killed himself. Liam said because of me.
Well, Emma, I'm quite sure you regret what you said, but I really don't think you caused Liam's death. There's always more to these things than meets the eye.
Third eye, in fact.
It wasn't your fault.
We can't tell Simon, please.
Simon doesn't need to know. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Poor Emma. I suppose it's possible that what she said led to Liam's death, but I really doubt it. I blame the Rands before I blame her.
Yeah. Paul said it was alright.
Yeah.
That's what I call not taking responsibility for the mental well-being of your students.
Yeah, exactly. That is just definitely not on.
How long have we been streaming for?
It's coming up 22:11 now.
I meant how long has the video been on for?
I don't know, it doesn't say.
It should do.
It was streaming 76 minutes ago.
Longer than an hour then.
What time do you need to wrap it up?
Well, I don't really work on Fridays. I do, however, have an engagement party, but I'm not sure I'm going to that now.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, for the moment, all I know I've got to get up for is the cleaner and the gardener.
Oh, okay.
What do we have in here? See if we can get that DVD back. Oh, well, it's not the DVD, but I suppose you
That'll come in handy. Don't know why I never remember to buy one.
Probably because you're used to picking things up, klepto. I just remembered something.
Yeah?
There was an area in the pub which I couldn't see because it was dark.
Yes, so maybe that could help.
Well, it's a source of light. Well, what do we have here? Cars vandalised.
Oh, well. And there's the mask symbol again. Looks like someone's been trying to make a point.
Oh, they're trying to goad them into vandalising cars now, huh?
Well, someone was, at any rate.
Yeah.
Either they did it to someone on the course, or someone off the course got goaded.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Have you seen these before?
No. Don't know the car.
Any guesses what that car is? I'm tempted to say Ferrari, but don't quote me on that.
Of course.
Know what these are?
No. Look a bit like sage leaves.
Haven't seen them before, though.
Then
Not at all, no.
What do you know about Liam?
Liam?
Local lad.
I wonder if he knows about the doll burning.
Oh, that Liam!
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard about him.
But you didn't know?
No, I know he went to college, but didn't really know him. It's sad, though.
Have you seen this before?
Oh, is this the thing that James did? Yeah, I've heard of it.
What do you know about all this? A third eye, I think they were called?
I don't really know anything about it. I mean, I've heard about Liam's death, but all I know about Three Eyes or whatever is on this flyer.
So you hadn't heard about Third Eye?
No, sorry.
Yes, let's ask about the doll burning.
What do you know about doll burning?
Not on the course. It's a ritual thing. It's getting rid of things that you don't need. Throw it into the fire.
And that's a good thing?
Well, yeah, it helps you getting rid of things you don't need, so you can move on and take control again.
So what are the masks for?
They're just to help you get into the right frame of mind. Just get you into the zone, help with the trance.
Trance?
Yeah. It's like self-hypnosis. We do it on the course sometimes. It's just to help you get into the right frame of mind.
So you hypnotise yourself?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Just stare into a mirror and chant something, just say the same thing over and over again. Or you could just close your eyes and put yourself into a trance. Some people can do that.
And that's safe?
Well, yeah.
No.
Hypnosis doesn't work the way that most people think it does. You can't just be hypnotised if you don't want to be hypnotised.
Why would you want to be
But
hypnotised?
you can learn to hypnotise yourself.
Yeah.
What did you say it was called? Auto-hypnosis?
Self-hypnosis, auto-hypnosis, same thing really.
I think Simon was a bit too quick to play down the role of auto-hypnosis on the course. I'll have to ask around about this.
I agree, but first let's finish off everything we...
Seen this? You know the shop?
Yeah, I know the shop. I hired something from them last year, I think.
This for a party, I assume?
Yeah, something like that.
What do you think you went as?
What do you know about Paul stealing money from students? Part of a stunt or something?
What, did he do that? I've never heard about anything like that. No, it might be part of the risk-taking thing, though.
Explain that.
Well, it's part of the course. You have to do something dangerous or risky, something you wouldn't normally do.
Something dangerous?
Well, not dangerous, just risky. Like saying something you wouldn't normally say to someone, or doing something unusual.
Like stealing from other students?
Well, we didn't do anything like that, but you have to tell everyone at the end of the course anyway. And you're not allowed to do anything that would hurt or offend anyone, or you're not allowed to do anything really bad. It's all pretend, really.
That's so.
Seems a bit odd for a business course.
It works,
I remember
though.
you said that.
Yeah.
Do you remember he said that? That's very interesting. No one is supposed to get hurt. Not allowed to hurt or offend others.
Exactly.
What do you know about Ryan's guitar collection?
Well, not a whole lot. I know he brought a guitar to one of the groups once, at the end of one of the stages. That's the only time I've seen him with a guitar.
I promise not to discuss that with her. I think that's all.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Let's see if he's available at Atlas finally. You know, he invited me to see one of the courses and then he kicks me out.
Yeah. Obviously something you didn't want you to see.
Ask about a few more things, please.
But he did want me to see it.
So tell me more about this doll burning.
It's a symbolic ceremony we perform every few weeks on the course.
What's it about?
It's about burning your old personality and finding a new one, a better one.
Or a worse
So the
one.
dolls are...
You. They represent you from the past. Each doll has a picture of the student as a child or a teenager. And they burn the doll and symbolically destroy their old personality. It's quite simple but effective, I find.
And why did that girl shout?
Because it's an emotional thing. She's quite clearly become very attached to her doll. They do spend the first month with them. We tell them to take the doll everywhere with them before they actually go through the doll burning.
And you believe that's a good thing? Destroying your past?
Of course it's a good thing, Inspector.
Is it?
We're all shackled to our past, particularly you by the sound of it. Perhaps we should make a doll of you, Inspector, and burn that. What do you think?
No, thank you.
No,
You're
thank
probably right. I'm not
Let the
sure it
past
would do any
die.
good anyway.
Well, for a time I was going to interpret that as a threat.
Do you know what this is?
Well, I think it's a bag. Is it a bag, Inspector?
Yes,
The
it is a
shop.
bag.
Oh, yes, the costume shop. Yes, we used to hire from them.
For the course?
Well, yes. For the course, at the end of each stage, we have a little party and we ask students to dress up or try acting out being somebody new, their new selves, as it were.
Could you explain a bit more? New selves?
One of the main elements of the course is learning how to act, how to be whoever you need to be in any given situation. I think you'll agree, Inspector, that business is about being the right person in the right situation at the right time. What it does, it helps them to detach themselves, become somebody new, pretend. You know, that kind of thing. It's surprising what a little bit of cross-dressing can do for you, Inspector. You should try it.
Not at this stage.
I don't think I want to know what this guy's hobbies are. But I'll probably ask about the guitar collection anyway. What did you say, Mike?
Yeah, just going over what he was saying, that's all. Trying to teach people to be completely different people.
I suppose some people should change. Some
Yeah,
people.
but for what intentions he has in mind, though, I'm not sure.
Well, for one thing, he's not exactly specifying... He's not exactly giving me much assurance that the new people he's turning people into are actually better than are actually improvements.
Or just controlling, moulding them into what they want.
That is something that James was impersonating on earlier.
Yeah.
What do you know about your father's money-stealing stunt?
Oh, well, yes, that was something that Dan decided to do as part of the shock aspect of the course.
But he went too far, you believe.
He usually does.
And do you think it did have anything to do with Liam's death?
No. Liam wasn't like that at all. I mean, that was just a simple, unfortunate coincidence. I mean, Liam had his own problems, but he didn't have any problems with the money shock stunt. No.
No. This guy does make me laugh. Looks like a bag. Is it a bag, Inspector?
I didn't realise you were a musician.
Oh, well,
What ought to
I'm not
hit
really a
notice?
musician. I mean, I
Vandalise
dabble a little
car.
bit. To be quite honest with you,
You
I'm
ought to hit
far
notice.
more
I
interested
hear
in
about that.
collecting guitars.
You're
Sure.
not in a band.
Well, I did audition. I did audition a few years ago. When I say a few years ago, of course, I mean about 20 years ago. Doesn't time fly?
What band was that?
Oh, I can't remember. Something Stone. Aren't they all called something stone? Hammerstone. That's it.
And you still collect?
I haven't bought a guitar for over a year. I feel I've moved on.
I don't see you burning your guitars.
What do you know about Emma Bowman criticising Liam before his suicide?
I was there. I witnessed it. I know Emma blamed herself for his death.
Did she?
Well, she was upset and all of that, but I wouldn't blame her, Inspector. I really don't think she had anything to do with it at all.
You don't think?
Liam was a very confident person, very outgoing, very strong individual, or so it seemed. I mean, people are free to do what they like. Even something as irreversible as bumping themselves off. Sad though that is, of course.
He had to think before adding that on the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
I suspect this might be his car.
Do you know what these are?
Oh yes, that's my old car. It was vandalised. I took those for the insurance company. Where did you find those?
At the pub. You know who did this?
Yes. A girl called Lisa Blint. She was on the course, very strange girl.
And why did she write the words devil worshippers all over your car?
Well, she was a very strange girl. She had a lot of psychological problems. I'm not entirely sure, Inspector. I mean, she took a dislike to the course for some particular reason. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And she asked for a refund. I declined. And she decided to spray her disapproval all over my car.
Odd thing to spray, isn't it, though? Devil worshippers?
Well, she was a very odd girl, Inspector. Maybe she thought it was a way of getting back at us. I have no idea.
Did Rebecca know about it?
Well, yes, she did, but I wasn't about to unleash Rebecca on her. She can be quite fierce sometimes, you know. And I mean, the girl wasn't vindictive. She had psychological problems. She lives in the village, actually. The run-down house at the end of the lane. Can't miss it.
Really? Right. Thank you.
Perhaps I should have a word with her.
Yeah.
That's all for the moment.
I'll
Thank you.
get back to the auto-hypnosis afterwards.
Okay.
So it's at the end, about here, perhaps?
Could that be where Lisa lives? Run-down house at the end of the lane. That's what Ryan said, wasn't it?
Run down. Looks fairly oldish. Would you say this is run down?
The old house?
Good evening.
Is it Lisa?
Yes.
Inspector Jenks, I'm investigating an incident in the village. I wonder if I could ask you a few questions.
What sort of incident?
I'd rather come in and discuss it if that's all right with you. I promise I won't take long. Thank you.
That will depend
I'll
on
just
what's
go
going
in
on
here,
there.
yes?
I have to go out in a minute.
Oh, look, I can come back later.
I might not be here. What did you want to ask?
Oh, you go running off somewhere?
I just wanted to ask you, did you know Kate Vine?
No.
Right. Well, I heard that you're familiar with Atlas, the life skills training company.
What do you want to know about Atlas?
Well, I heard you reacted badly to it.
Of course I reacted badly. So would anyone.
Not everyone, apparently.
Now, why do you say that?
Because they're devil worshippers.
Devil worshippers?
They're making demons appear. They're tricking everybody. They're getting people to join up, and then they're putting demons inside them. You can see them.
See who?
Demons.
Where could you see them?
In the mirrors.
At Atlas?
Any mirror. You can't get rid of them. They stay inside you.
So, how did you get rid of them?
I didn't.
You still see them?
I just don't look. I put all the lights on. I make sure it's all bright. I put them on when I need to look in the mirror. If I make sure everything is bright, I just see myself without seeing the other person.
Who's the other person?
Who is the other person?
She's like me, but older. It's like her eyes sink in. She's all wrinkled, with a wrinkled mouth. Like she's dying. And then I realize I'm her. I'm not me anymore. I'm her. I'm sorry, I have to go now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Evidently, this girl is either under severe psychological stress, or the course traumatized her.
Definitely sounds like trauma.
I could see that. The impression I'm getting from that girl is that the version of her she's seeing in the mirror growing old and dying, I believe that's represented by the result of the course.
Exactly. I mean, they did talk about, killing an old version of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder
Sounds like a course for someone who claims to have mental health troubles.
Yes. Again, that's also Paul being irresponsible. As long as they pay their
tuition,
then they're allowed to stay on the course no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if it breaks them.
Yeah. Definitely not a very legitimate course by the sounds of it.
Well, I wonder what Ryan has to say for himself.
Couple more questions, if that's okay?
Let's start with the auto-hypnosis.
Can you tell me about auto-hypnosis?
No. What would you like to know?
Do you use it on the course?
We dip into it occasionally, but it's not a major feature of the course. I would say that, well, a minority of the students know how to use it, but the majority wouldn't know and have a clue.
It's not a requirement of the course?
No, not at all. We don't ask people to do things that they're not comfortable with. There's no bribery, no coercion. We're thinking about phasing auto-hypnosis out, actually.
What's the reason for that?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Inspector, it doesn't actually work very well.
Well, either that or someone was especially traumatised from the auto-hypnosis or something else that goes on in this course of yours.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Has devil worship ever been part of the
Only
course,
Lisa's
Ryan?
accusation might...
Am I correct in assuming that you have spoken to Lisa Blint?
You would be.
Me.
She's been telling me all about the Atlas obsession with Satanism, Ryan.
Then if you've met Lisa Blint, then you will have worked out for yourself that she has a very vivid imagination.
Or a very
She also
traumatised...
has psychological problems, diagnosed psychological problems, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
So where did she get the idea that you lot were devil worshippers?
And you let her on the
I
course.
really have no idea.
Yeah.
The girl is insane.
And you let
She's
her on the course.
frightened of her own shadow, bless her. She actually thinks that demons are possessing her even now.
And you let her
You
on
really
the course.
can't trust a word she says.
So you are saying there has never been any devil worship at Atlas?
I don't even know what devil worship is, Inspector. It's not something I particularly know anything about. I certainly don't recall anyone ever having worshipped the devil at Atlas. We even tried to help the poor girl by paying for some treatment, but she didn't want it.
Really?
It's not easy to offer someone help when they
knows
think that you're the
paganism.
problem.
Yes. I think I'm just gonna have to say...
Yeah, there's something in there.
He's lying.
Aha. So, you used to read a lot about voodoo and satanic rituals, but you don't know anything about devil worship?
Obviously, I just meant we don't worship the devil. We're not devil worshippers here at Atlas, Inspector. Ridiculous.
But the point is, Ryan, that you claim not to know anything about it, but admitted you were obsessed with it when you were younger. Are you sure none of that made its way onto the Atlas course? And that Lisa isn't basing her beliefs on anything within that course?
Lisa isn't basing her beliefs on anything other than her own imagination, Inspector. Look, we do use some techniques that some students find difficult, disturbing. We encourage them to see things differently, that's all. And some people simply aren't up to that. Some people, like Lisa, that's why we introduced the aptitude test.
What's the aptitude test?
This. We ask students to fill in an aptitude test, medical history, psychological issues, that kind of thing, any medication that they have used in the past, any medication that they currently are using. Here, take a look. Basically, it's just to try and make sure that we don't get another Lisa.
Has it worked?
Well, touch wood, so far, yes.
Can I keep a copy of this?
I wonder how much importance they actually give to this test. And what are they doing that's so disturbing anyway?
Well, I think the only other person to ask about
Be back
that
later
would
on, if that's okay.
probably be Paul, don't you agree?
Yeah.
A few more questions, please.
I've got to say, this is actually a
Does,
really
Ryan
very
play the
engrossing
guitar?
game.
Ryan couldn't get a tune out of a radio. He's tone deaf.
Okay, so he's never tried to go professional.
If he did try, it was never going to happen.
For people like this guy, it is, certainly.
Do you think Emma's criticism of Liam on that last night led to his suicide?
I doubt it, Hal.
Did you encourage Emma to criticise him?
I didn't encourage Emma to do anything. I merely told her what we tell every student to do, to express themselves as they want to.
So you did encourage?
It would be out of order to criticize them after that, wouldn't it? However, I didn't expect her to criticize his birthmark, if that's what it was.
So you know about the birthmark?
That's a decision she took herself.
So you didn't know her well?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Aha.
Wasn't for Kate. Who was it for?
You
then?
say you didn't know Emma, yet you bought her a freedom necklace.
I don't remember saying anything about buying Emma a necklace.
So you didn't buy her one? So you did buy her one? So that means you must have known her, and quite well too.
Stop making such a big thing about this, Inspector. Look, I've been around a few years. The clock is ticking, and I admit I have an embarrassing weakness for attractive women. It was a stupid mistake, but that's all it was.
So you're saying you tried it on with her?
No, I didn't try it on.
Why did she call you slime then?
I bought her a necklace. I'm not aware that there's a law against buying presents unless, of course, the Third Reich has been elected while I was at a bridge party. Emma was old enough to make decisions for herself. And as a matter of fact, she decided that she didn't want to be bothered with an old fool like me. So Nothing happened, no mistakes, nobody got hurt. All right.
Sure thing,
Like
Jabba
father,
the Hutt.
like son. No surprises there. I wonder how many students Paul has tried it on with.
This will be interesting.
Do you know what these are?
Yes, that's Ryan's car. Another toy he managed to ruin. It was vandalized sometime last year.
Do you know who did it?
I don't believe anybody was ever prosecuted for it.
That's not really answering the question.
Can you tell me more about the auto-hypnosis techniques used on the course?
We don't use hypnosis on the course.
Does he know?
Not
Yeah.
at all.
Does he know about the auto-hypnosis?
So, how was it used?
Hypnosis is probably the wrong word, Inspector. It's
Yes,
nothing to
they're
do
not
with the
using it at
trances
all.
or things like that. It was meant to force,
Force?
to help students.
Did you force them?
You can't force anybody into being hypnotized. You have to want to
Yeah.
be hypnotized.
Yeah.
It's not something out of your control. You can't be hurt or damaged in any way
Force.
by hypnosis.
So you've never
You do
put
it
pressure on
responsibly,
students
no?
to enter into hypnosis?
It would be impossible to do so.
Unless the other person didn't know what they were getting into.
Exactly.
Do you know anything about devil worship, Paul?
I beg your pardon.
What an interesting thing
Devil
to say
worship?
after
Satanism?
hypnosis.
Am I missing something here?
I heard
probably so,
Atlas had
yeah.
elements of Satanism on the course.
You were misinformed.
Was I?
We're a training company, we're not devil worshippers. What kind of a question is that?
So you've no interest in the occult?
No, Inspector, I have no interest in the occult any more than I have interest in pole vaulting, cheese making, or snake charming. Anything else you want to know that I'm not interested in?
That's fine, thanks.
Answering questions, I believe, comes up on the list.
Can you tell me a bit about this, please? It's the Atlas aptitude test.
What do you want to know?
What does it test, exactly?
It's a test we introduced to make sure that any students didn't have any major personality problems, skeletons in the cupboard, so to speak. We introduced it because we had a little bit of a problem with one of the students.
Lisa.
You are well informed.
And what do you think it was that disturbed her?
I believe that the course proved to be too demanding for her.
I think he was hoping I wouldn't know.
We discovered that she had one or two psychological problems and she couldn't handle it.
And did you change anything else on the course apart from introducing the
Her on the
test?
course.
We increased the entrance age to 21. Well, wasn't much, but it's about the only thing we could do. We didn't want another Lisa. We didn't want students turning round and suing us, did we?
That's all you didn't want? Children being mentally young, incorrigible youths getting mentally destroyed doesn't bother you?
Yeah. Lisa's accusation. Is that what the devil worship was then?
Probably, but I do know that this fellow has brought this next one upon himself.
Okay. Couldn't handle the force techniques.
I'm clicking on the wrong things quite by mistake. But I do know what I'm doing.
So nobody has ever been affected by auto-hypnosis, except Lisa.
Hypnosis wasn't the problem, Inspector. Lisa was the problem with Lisa. That's why we introduced the test.
But the hypnosis was the trigger, wasn't it?
Lisa arrived on the course
the
believing
hypnosis
we
was
were
a
all
broker.
devil worshippers. She was nuts to start with. We didn't make her like that.
Well, as far as I can tell, Paul, you've had one student accuse you of devil worship and two others commit suicide. Some of your students aren't having a very good time on this course, are they?
Nonsense. Kate was enjoying every minute of it. She couldn't get enough of it.
Really?
She was full of the joys of life. Bubbly, confident, flirty.
With whom?
You mean with whom?
With whom?
Pretty much everybody. Including me, as I remember.
Really? And did you respond?
I don't get into relationships with students, Inspector. Company policy. It's not professional.
Interesting admission that Kate flirted with him. There's no way Paul would have turned down an opportunity like that.
So, you avoid relationships with students, but
Yeah.
you once tried to date Emma.
Yeah.
Well, that is a free admission that you're not
So
professional.
you avoid relationships with students, except for Emma, who you tried to date.
Oh, come on, Inspector. That was a long time ago.
And what about Kate
time
Ryan?
ago.
Did you try to date her
You
or
suddenly
not?
Don't be
decided
so
to become
ridiculous,
professional?
Inspector. Kate was an exceptionally clever girl. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she knew how to get it.
You mean that Kate approached you?
It wouldn't surprise me if she was playing everyone in the group. Kate had more enemies than you'd think. She was a very, very manipulative young woman.
10 o'clock, it's getting late. I'm gonna have to pick up the pace if I'm gonna solve this by midnight.
Well, it isn't 10, it is in fact actually 12 past 11. I'm wondering if I should call it a stream.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, I think should we give it a pause for now? Because I'm gonna have to get to need to get some sleep. I have work tomorrow early.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but no, it was a pretty good game actually. Thanks for that.
You're more than welcome to play it yourself. It's less than 10 quid.
Oh, another Steam one.
Yep.
Contridiction. Okay.
Yeah, it seems we're calling it a stream.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
To the people of YouTube, if any of the 11 people who have subscribed to my channel are watching this video, thank you for your cooperation. In the spirit of things. Frankly, I didn't think I deserved 11 subscribers, so thanks for the nice surprise, guys. Really appreciate it. And I mean that, seriously.
Yeah, no problem.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, folks.